Okay, welcome to the third part of the bubble invasion game. So in this final part, what we're going to do is we're going to write the code to pop a bubble, and we're also going to keep score on how many bubbles that we pop, and then we'll also do some minor adjustments to the speed of the bubble in the game as we progress through the game. So when we go to look at this, what we want to do is we are now into stage 3, which we have to respond to mouse clicks. And in the first part, it says, in the start function, create a small black circle, which we will call shot from now on, with shot radius, and place it off screen. Okay, so let's go to the start function. All right, so I'm going to create a global variable, excuse me, called shot. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say shot equals new circle, and it's going to have a shot radius for the radius. We're going to say shot dot set position, and let's just test it for the center of the screen just to make sure it's working. Oh, this should be get width. Get width divided by 2. Get height divided by 2. And then we're going to add shot. Okay, let's run it and test it. Okay, get width, I spelled wrong. Okay, we run it, and we have the shot in the middle of the screen. So let's now place it off the screen. So it's not on there when the program starts. So let's just go -5, let's say. So we run it, and now we can't see it because it's off the screen here. Okay, so we've added the shot. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add a mouse click method. All right. So what I want to do is I want to go to the start function, and I want to add mouse click method, and I want to call pop bubble. So pop bubble is going to be the name of my function that I'm going to write for this. All right, so let's go down to here. And then when we write pop bubble, so we say, so this is going to be function that pops bubble and adds 1 to score. So we say function pop bubble. Now we're going to add E to that, and what that's going to do is that's going to be an event listener. So that's going to be activated when I have my mouse click method, and the E is going to be the location of the mouse click. So if I say if E dot get Y, okay, this first part here, what I'm doing is I'm making sure that when I click, it's got to be greater than the HUD height. So I can't click into the red HUD area. All right. So if my shot is greater than the HUD height, that means I'm in the area where the bubbles are floating by. I'm going to get that element. So I'm going to say variable, create a variable element, ELEM is equal to get element at, and I'm going to say E dot get X. Let me move this over, comma E dot get Y. I'm going to move the shot to that position I just shot at with the mouse click. So set position, E dot get X, comma E dot get Y. Okay, now if let's say I click in the HUD area in the red area, well, then I want to return null. So I'm going to say else variable element equals null. All right. Okay, so what I've done is I've created a shot if I'm greater than the HUD height, which is good. Now I need to check it to see if I hit the bubble or not. We need to see where element is located if it's on a bubble. So we want to say if element is equal to bubble, that means I want to remove the bubble. So that means we clicked on a bubble. And at this point here, I'm going to put some comments in because we're going to add code in the next part of the video. So if we remove the bubble, that means we get 1 point. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to, first off, we can adjust the speed for next bubble. We also need to increment the score by 1, and we need to display the score. Okay. Now, if all of this is true, okay, so that if we did remove that bubble there, that means what we're going to have to do is we are going to have to spawn a new bubble. Okay, so in that case here, what we're going to do is we are going to spawn a new bubble. All right, so if we click on a bubble, we remove it, we'll adjust the speed for the next bubble, we'll increment the score by 1, we'll display the score. Now, if this is not true, then what we're going to do is we're going to say else, and then we're going to say element is equal to null. All right? Okay, let's try it. Okay, so I forgot my X on here. All right, so let's debug that, clear it, run it again. Okay, I missed. Okay, I shot it. So my shot's showing up. If I click on the bubble, it's disappearing. If I miss the bubble, it's still going across the screen and it goes up to the top. So we have everything working at this point. Okay, so in the next step, what we're going to do is we're going to adjust the speed after we click on it, after we get a bubble. We're also going to put our score up in the top left corner. All right, let's work on keeping score in the game now. So when I run this, when I pop a bubble, I should increment my score. The score should be up in this corner, and by default, it should start with 0, and every time I pop a bubble, it's going to increment the score by 1. Okay? All right, so let's start out and let's do a couple global variables. So we're going to have variable for game score. We're going to have a variable for text score. All right? And in my start function, let's start out with game score equals 0. All right. And let's write the function for score down here. Okay, so the function, so this function will keep track of the score. And then we say function score. And we want text score equals new text. And we want game score, comma, and then we have a constant for score font. Text score dot set position. And we're going to say score left margin as a constant, comma 30. We'll put it right in the corner of the HUD, top left corner. We want text score dot set color, and we want to use the constant score color. And then we want to add text score. Okay. Now, when we call this, we want to make sure in our start function that we don't put score function before HUD. If we do, the HUD's going to be on top of it. We won't see the score. So we want to make sure we put score function after. And we can see that when we run this, it's initialized to 0 when we start the game. Okay. Now what we need to do is we need to adjust this that when we pop a bubble, we're going to update the text in the score. Okay. All right, so how do we do that? Well, after we pop a bubble, so we have it here, so we have the display score working, so let's take that out. We need to increment, let's move this back. We need to increment the score by 1, so that would be game score plus plus, and then we need to display this new game score. So it's going to be text score dot set text, and we're going to update it with game score. Okay, we run it, pop a bubble, and now we can see that our score is updating here. Okay, very good. All right, final step. What we're going to do is we're going to adjust the speed of this bubble. Okay, so when we adjust the speed of the bubble, what we're going to do is we are going to add just 0.1 to the speed of the bubble so that it just makes the game a little more difficult. So we're going to put an if statement in. Now we don't want the speed to get crazy where it just keeps going. So we're going to have a maximum value of it so that it doesn't get too fast. Now you can play around with this, you can do whatever you want, but I'm going to say if the speed is less than 5, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to increment the speed. So I'm going to add it to it 0.1 plus 0.1. Okay, so let's try it. Okay, we run it. Pop the bubble, it gets a little bit faster. Now it's getting a little tougher. Still doing pretty good here. Now we can make this even more difficult. So, okay, let's let the game go through. All right, so you can see that what you can do with this, you can adjust this. I mean, we can make the up and down more difficult as we pop a bubble. We can make it just more, difficult for it to go across. We can change the speed to a higher value here so the speed will keep going up. All right, so that's the bubble invasion game. I hope you liked the video. Give it a try. Please like and subscribe. Okay, thanks for watching.